Haley Robertson. Haley Robertson, please make your way to the check-in station for the breeding sheep show.
Well, friends, it has been a fantastic day already. Had a couple of shows this morning, this afternoon, and of course we're on day 2, 3, 5, 10, who knows. But hey, listen, fact of the matter is we wouldn't be here at all without some very special folks that have helped us in a big way. So before I go any further, let me show you some of them folks. Let me get this gadget set up for us here. There we go. Wipe that on. Look at these. Wright Barrier Services, Cat Brothers Rabbitry, PMI Pipe Steel and Supplies, Republic of Texas Tailgate, Southwest Erectors, and of course Clancy Hall, Realtor for Phyllis Browning Land and Ranch Company, and Berkland Excavating and Ag Services. They have been your live stream sponsors, so you would not be watching today without them. So if you know anyone involved in those, or you could patronize that business, or know anyone there, please give them a call or shoot them a text and just tell them thank you for making it possible for you to watch today. We've also got a load of buckle sponsors. Let me just show you a few of those right quick. Well, here they are. While we have a minute. Looks like the show's about to start, so I'll try to come back to our buckle sponsors here in a minute, but this is our breeding show, and we're delighted you could join us. Here we go.
This will be first call for Class 1 Southdowns. First call, Class 1 Southdowns. Please make your way to the staging arena. The second call, Class 1 Southdown. We have 4 entries in that class.
Really high quality breeding sheep class here. I think these two for sure, they work to the top real easily. They're really nice in terms of design. I like the length of body and the handle and touch on this ewe to win the class. I love her extension up through her front third and how her neck comes out of that blade and shoulder. Again, one that's got some dimension down her top line, big in terms of her hip as well. You talk about her pin sets being exceptional. Really like her in that aspect. That three-quarter view doesn't disappoint as well. One that's balanced. She's got some rib, but yet she's still cool to look at from the side. One that's real stout from the ground up. I like her to win the class. Boy, I tell you, this is a really good handling ewe in second. One that's just really smooth down her top as well. Exceptional in that hip point junction. Again, one to me is just a notch shorter from flank to flank, but certainly one is exceptionally hard to handle and touch. I love her hide. I love her pelt. I love her condition. To me, maybe a little bit less dimensional out of her hip, not her dock, but that's getting real critical because she's a nice one in her own right. Just a little bit less length of body, but certainly these duo up here the way the top real easily. The Southdown ewe is good. She's a little bit raw in terms of her loin in relation to the first and second. Someone that has she gets just a tick off in terms of that dock, but in terms of being stout, balanced, good in her lines, good in that blade and shoulder. Really feminine kind of individual as well. At fourth place, you long-bodied. Again, extension measures extremely well. She's the one that plays out in the middle and lower portions of her leg, but she's certainly really stout from the ground up. Really powerful sheep in that fifth place hole. Again, one little coarser up through that shoulder, that point of shoulder. but certainly one that's got some grow in her. Then we got a young ewe that got on the class out with, a little green to the handle and touch, a little different in terms of her design on her hind legs, but certainly one that's got a good future. Nice duo up here for your champion in reserve. Let's give them a round of applause. Nice set overall. Good job.
This will be last call for Class 1 Southdowns. Last call, Class 1 Southdowns. Results of your breeding sheep show. In 5th place, Brooke Dawsey from Jack C. Hayes FFA. 4th place, Megan Hernandez from Buda 4-H Club. 3rd place, Morgan Hernandez from Buda 4-H Club. 2nd place goes to second place goes to Tate Steinecke. And the winner of the Breeding Sheep Show and champion breeding ewe is Adeline Fee. The winner of the aged ewe division was Penelope Soto from Buda 4-H. We should have 4 entries in Class 1 of the Southdown breed. First call, Class 2 Southdown. We have 3 entries in Class 2. call for Class 2 Southdowns. This will be last call for Class 2 Southdowns. Last call, Class 2 Southdowns.
This little ewe to win the class. Again, she's given up 22 pounds, but that doesn't discount her quality. Again, one that's built right. She's the one that's good in terms of her hips. She's the one that's just more balanced. She's the one that's a little bit better out of her dock. In relation to her frame size, she's got plenty of muscle down her top. She's exceptional in terms of definition of stifle and middle and lower portion of her leg. I like her hip. I like her coolness. I like her touch. I like her elevation in relation to her frame size. I like her to win the class. Challenging sheep in second. We really wanted to get this sheep on the move, to move about the arena, to see how this sheep appeared in terms of athleticism. It was difficult because she didn't want to cooperate. It's one that, to me, again, for her frame size at 102 pounds and weight, to me, she's a little raw to the handle and that loin. Certainly one that's a little bit higher. Flank, I love the length of body. I love this extension. To me, again, one, you'd like to change your outer dock just a little bit, drop her flank just a little bit, maybe freshen her up in her loin. A little thicker hiding sheep, softer handling sheep in this third place hole. One that has a tendency to get a little bit rounder out her hip, certainly a little bit bolder through her forerib. I'd like to change that about her, but certainly one that's a little bit more dimensional in terms of the way she moves about the arena as compared to the sheep that runs the class out with. This is a heavier conditioned sheep, the one that gets a little bit more forward. That chest floor gets a bit more narrow in terms of her base width, and certainly a little bit flatter stifled. I like her growth. I like her extension. Just need to change those other aspects to make her more competitive. Really nice built one to win the class. Let's give these four exhibitors a round of applause. Good job.
Results of Class 1 Southdowns. Fourth place, Trent Henry from Dripping Springs 4-H. Third place, Savannah Scott from Dripping Springs FFA. Second place, Ashlyn Brinkley from Buda 4-H. And your class winner out of Class 1 Southdowns is Tate Steinecke from Wimberley 4-H. Congratulations, exhibitors. We'll see you first and second place lambs back in the Champion Southdown Drive. At this time, Class 2 Southdown should be entering the ring. We have 3 entries in this class, ranging from 121 pounds to 125 pounds. 3 Southdown.
It's a challenging class because there's some things that you'd like to change about each of these individuals, but there's some good things as well. Young man's whether to win this class, he's just so long-bodied and good-ribbed. Again, one that I think is the more balanced sheep in terms of his lines. Again, one that he dominates the class in terms of firmness to touch and handle. He's explosive in terms of his stifle. To me, again, you'd like to maybe elevate him up to his front a little bit, make him run up just a bit more uphill, but certainly one in terms of his handling and touch, I like him to win the class. Softer handling sheep in second, one that's not as definitive down his top line. To me, he's the one that has the tendency to roll in terms of his hip just a tick. To me, a little bit different in terms of his forward versus his flank. But certainly one I love his extension up to that front end. Just give him a little bit more firmness to touch, maybe kind of give him just a little bit better hip design. Lamb that ran the class out with, probably the heaviest conditioned sheep of the class. She's the one that's just a little bit too bold through the middle portion of her body cavity in relation to her flank. One that to me, we like to clean her up over her ribs and relax her down her top line. If we do that, I think we make her more competitive, can make her balance up and get her straight down her top line just a bit more. Very challenging class. Love the handle on the class winner. Congratulations to these 3 individuals.
The results of Class 2 Southdowns. Third place goes to Dane Duggar, Wimberley FFA. Second place, Garrett Fee from Dripping Springs 4-H. And your Class 2 winner is J.W. Hernandez from Buda 4-H. Congratulations, exhibitors, and we will see you back, these first and second place lambs, in the Southdown Champion Drive. At this time, Class 3 Southdown should be entering the ring. We have 5 entries ranging from 133 pounds to 170 pounds. Class 3 Southdown. We need Tate Steinecke and Ashlyn Brinkley back to the holding pen for the Southdown Champion Drive out of Class 1. And we need J.W. Hernandez and Garrett Fee back to the holding pen for Class 2 Southdowns.
challenging class again. I think you compromise on the one that brings the most good to the table. Yeah, there's some things you'd like to change about this sheep, but certainly I think there's too many good parts about him in relation to the remainder of the class. He's certainly, again, the one that's most grooved up down his top in terms of his middle and lower portion of his leg. He's explosive as well. I like him in terms of his length of body. As he tracks away from the arena and moves about the arena, you can see how he's got just maybe a bit more soft condition on him than ideal. But I think in terms of power, touch, and length of body, I like him to win the class. The sheep is second. Big old tall frame sheep, 150 some odd pounds. Again, one you'd think would have just a bit more dimension out in the lower portion of his leg than he does for a frame size like this. He's the one that gets a little bit rougher up to his shoulder and blade. He's just a little bit coarser made in relation to his hind end, and certainly one that, to me, I think, again, he's still got some handle to him that's acceptable, pushing the envelope on condition, but certainly one that's built right for the most part. 170 some odd pound sheep here, you know, in that third place hole. Lots of meat, lots of product. He's just overdone in terms of his maturity. Something just you can see as he tracks away from you and moves about the arena. Very similar to the other two. He's got a little bit more condition in that elbow pocket. He wants to drop his chest forward. Just kind of wants to run downhill. And to me, he's just not near as nice in terms of his overall freshness of handle. One that's built right in the fourth place hole, the softest handling sheep. We need to firm this one up. Again, one that's just a little bit flatter and stifled by like its elevation. And the lamb that runs the class out with, this is the one that handles with some firmness down his top. He's the roundest made one, want to really fix him out his hip just a bit, maybe fix him on his feet and legs and give him just a bit more power in the middle and lower portion of his leg as well. Very challenging class. Again, let's give these kids a round of applause out of our heavyweight class. Good job.
Results of Class 3 Southdowns. 5th place, Ellie Trujillo, Johnson FFA. 4th place, Lily Aylshire, Dripping Springs 4H. 3rd place, Megan Hernandez, Buda 4H. 2nd place, Barrett Collins from Dripping Springs 4H. And your class winner out of Class 3 Southdowns, Quincy Raines from Dripping Springs 4H. At this time, we will have Class 1 winner, Tate Steinecke, Class 2 winner, J.W. Hernandez, and Class 3 winner, Quincy Raines, entering the ring for the champion Southdown Drive. 2nd place lamb out of Class 1 is Ashlyn Brinkley. 2nd place lamb out of Class 2 is Garrett Fee. And the 2nd place lamb out of Class 3 is Barrett Collins. Welcome them back to the ring for the champion Southdown Drive. This will be first call for Class 1 Fine Wools. First call, Class 1 Fine Wools.
While I've got a minute here, let me give special thanks to all of our buckle sponsors. You see them there on the screen. I'll mention them here in just a little bit, but let's get back to this champ drive of these Southdowns.
Competitive set of Southdowns out here. We didn't have but just 12, but certainly some ones that have got some good qualities to them. I think when you take a look at this class, there's some give and take with your champion, your reserve, and what you take here. It gets down for me, again, to youthfulness in terms of handle and touch. It gets down to firmness, to handle and touch. It gets down to some power as well. I think a couple that are just a bit better over the ribs, just a bit better in their touch down their top line is going to be a champion reserve. Let's give the young lady out of the heavyweights your round of applause for having the champion Southdown. Young man with the middleweight is going to be reserved. Congratulations.
This will be second call for your first class of fine wools. Second call, Class 1 fine wools. Your champion at Southdown goes to Quincy Rains out of Class 3. Your reserve champion goes to J.W. Hernandez out of Class 2. We will see those champions and reserve champions back in the final drive for the grand champion overall. This will be last call, final call, Class 1 fine wools. We have three entries in Class 1 fine wools. Ranging in weight from 111 to 131. 111 to 131 pounds.
All right, take a look at these grand champion breeding buckle sponsors. U Sunset Construction Excavation. Reserve Champion Breeding, U Lindsay Wright. Grand Champion Market Lamb, Barbie Ranch, Shane Barbie. Reserve Champion Market Lamb, same group, Barbie Ranch, Shane Barbie. Senior Showmanship and Junior Showmanship, both by Balboa Memorial Foundation. Intermediate Showmanship, Wimberley FFA alumni. Clover Showmanship, Backyard Cowboy Buyer Group. Champion Medium Wool, Lindholm Club Lambs. Reserve Champion Medium Wool, Backyard Cowboys Buyer Group. Champion Southdown, Alicia and Alan Fee. Reserve Champion Southdown, Wimberley FFA alumni. Champion Fine Wool, Robin's Closet, Robin Rippey Scott. Reserve Champion Fine Wool, Affinity Cantera and Stone, Jared and Teresa Alishire. Champion Fine Wool Cross, Glesson Tile. Reserve Champion Fine Wool Cross, Ben and Terry Brown. Champion Dorper, Shane Barbie. And Reserve Champion Dorper, Barbie Ranch, Shane Barbie. All right, here we go with our fine wools.
This will be first call, Class 2 fine wools. First call, Class 2 fine wools.
Do you want to do this or do you want to do a camera? Okay, go ahead and spell P. All right, Serge, you're live again. All right, you're going to roll them 6. Here I come. Seven coming to you. Okay, as they get gathered, just pan to the left slowly, Esther, to show the rest of the other two. Yep, there you go. Now you can widen out to show the whole group. 11. I think Esther's shot's a little better right now. All right, 11 coming.
This will be second call, Class 2 fine wools. Second call, Class 2 fine wools. Please make your way to the holding area.
To a million pieces when I don't know where to start. I forgive.
Pretty easy way to find this one, I think, in relation to the remainder of the two in this class. This sheep's the best built one. He's the best handling sheep. He's certainly the most explosive out of his hip. He's better in terms of his rib. He's better in terms of his lines. When you want to fault him, he wants to wrinkle up just a little bit, but that's getting real minor because he's big hipped, great top, big in terms of his leg, and certainly one that's better through his forerib. Big old sheep that's second at 131 pounds or so. Again, one that's got some shape down his top. He's long from his hip. To me, he's just a little bit plainer through his forerib, gets a little bit higher flank, just doesn't balance up quite as well for me today. but I like the product on his skeleton. A long-bodied one that's in third place whole. I like him in terms of his lines down his top line. He's straight and underlined as well. He's the one that's shorter hipped. He wants to roll out that dock just a bit more. He's the one that's a little bit flatter stifled. To me, again, just doesn't appear to have quite as much product on his skeleton in relation to the hip first and second places. Very competitive lightweight fine wool class. A really nice set here. Let's give him a round of applause. Good job.
This will be last call, Class 2 fine wools. Last call, Class 2 fine wools. Results of Class 1 fine wools. Third place, Jonathan Rivero, Dripping Springs FFA. Second place, Case Crow, Dripping Springs FFA. And your class winner out of Class 1 fine wool division, Maya Jones from Wimberley FFA.
So for what it's worth, Abby, the microphone wasn't even plugged in on the white headset. I don't know what happened. Yep. When I brought it in here, it fell off in my hands. Yeah. I'm guessing in trying to adjust it, we may have disconnected it. And it wasn't,
Lily Aylshire, we need you to the holding area with your fine wool. Lily Aylshire.
Darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. You got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Yeah, you and I as one
Class 2 fine wools are entering the ring. We have
be better
5
than
entries in this class, ranging in weight from 138 pounds to 152 pounds. We need Maya Jones and Case Crow back to the staging area for the champion fine wool drive at the conclusion of Class 2. This will be first call for fine wool crosses, Class 1. First call, Class 1 fine wool cross.
Another challenging class. I think, again, you revert back to the one that handles the best today. This sheep that wins the class, he's big framed and he's elevated, he's long bodied. Again, he's exceptional in terms of his height, he's exceptional in terms of his touch. You put your hands on him, he's smoothed out his top, he's grooved up in terms of his rack. I think he's fuller in terms of his loin. One that to me, he runs uphill, and he really is a nice one to look at from the side. He has a tendency to get just a little bit flatter in terms of his stifle. Maybe he has a tendency to roll just a little bit out of his hip. But I love his handle. I love his height, his touch and condition. He's fresh. He's really nice to look at and handle as well. That's why he wins the class. He's a big hip sheep in second. One that to me, he's got some shoulder to him. He just doesn't maybe run quite as uphill as what we see in our class winner. He a little bit drier and staler in terms of his handle and his hide. To me, a little bit softer to the handle and touch. He's the one that rolls in his loin just a little bit when you compare him to our class winner. I like his hip. I like his dimension of leg as well. For me, he just doesn't handle quite as well. To me, his hide's just a little bit off today. Certainly a very nice duo up in the top two holes. A big old powerful sheep in third, long body, doesn't bounce up quite as well. It wants to roach up in his top just a bit more. Gets a little bit plainer through his forerib. An interesting sheep in the fourth place hole because this sheep handle's firm and is really, really nice to the touch. He just gets too forward through his chest. He tapers towards his dock. He just is too piecey. Just doesn't have quite the parts and pieces to fit together for a show lamb. Then round the class out with one that to me he's given up some muscle. He's certainly the softest handling sheep in our top five. One that's just a little bit hollow today, a little bit more base narrow, but certainly one that's got some good days ahead of him. Very competitive class. Love the firmness to touch in their class winner. Congratulations to these 5 exhibitors.
Results of Class 2 fine wools. 5th place, Lily Aylshire, Dripping Springs 4-H. 4th place, Camden Crow, Dripping Springs FFA. 3rd place, Dane Duggar, Wimberley FFA. 2nd place, Winston Rains, Dripping Springs 4-H. And your class winner out of Class 2 fine wools, Marlena Moore, Buda 4-H. Coming back in the ring at this time, we will have Class 1 fine wool winner, Maya Jones from Wimberley FFA, and Marlena Moore from Buda 4-H out of Class 2. 2nd place lamb out of Class 1, Case Crow from Dripping Springs FFA, and Class 2, 2nd place lamb, Winston Rains from Dripping Springs 4-H.
Nice set of sheep out here, especially you talk about the ones that handle really well in the front line of their weight divisions. The lightweight sheep is getting built right. He's really cool to look at. Maybe a little bit different in terms of his hide, but not real critical there. To me, he just doesn't have maybe the definition of top is what we would anticipate right behind those shoulders, but he had enough of that balance and enough top shape and hip to win the class. The heavy handles so good down his top. Again, maybe not quite as nice in terms of that rear flank versus his full rib, but he's acceptable enough, especially when you handle him. He's up fronted, he's long body. I love his handle and touch. The young lady, that's going to be your champion. Let's give her a round of applause. Good job. You bring that second place in again, one that's just a little softer, wants to roll in terms of his loin. We're going to revert back to the one that's bigger or better in terms of his build. One's a little bit firmer to the handle. I like him in terms of his balance. He's going to be your reserve champion, the young lady out of the lightweights. Congratulations. Good job.
All right, your champion fine wool goes to Marlena Moore from Buda 4-H. And your reserve champion fine wool goes to Maya Jones out of Class 1. This will be last call for Class 1 fine wool crosses.
Okay, I have to create another, I only have 2 classes, apparently there's 3. So Pete, can you come switch while I make that graphic? Yeah, just throw it away, Pete, I don't have enough room.
Class 1 fine wool crosses, you should be at this check-in area. We have 6 entries in this class, ranging from 115 pounds to 128 pounds. Will be second call for fine wool cross class 2. Second call, fine wool crosses class 2.
nice dude to win this class. I think you find her real easy and fast, and then you take a look and see what you're going to do down the line here. She's built right. She's exceptional in her rib. She's exceptional in her lines. She's just so good down her top line. She's good in terms of her pin set. She's level out her dock. She's stout. Again, won the handles extremely well. Like her to win the class real easily. A real powerful sheep in second, just a bit shorter measuring sheep, just a bit shorter bodied kind of individual. One, again, it's got some top shape to him. Depth of loin is exceptional and compare to that third place sheep. A little bit better handling sheep. Where did she get beat when you're late? Compare her to our class winner. Shorter hip, rounder hip, wants to round out just a little bit. Not quite as long a bodied, but certainly in terms of muscle and touch and handle, I like her to be that second place hole. Elevated sheep in third, long bodied sheep in third. To me, the one that's just raw to the handle in terms of that loin, just wants to dish a little bit in that hip loin junction. You can see how it's wrinkling up there, not near as fresh to the handle and touch, but a little bit better in overall design. Real firm handling sheep in the fourth place hole, just a little bit raw to the handle. Then you get into a softer handling sheep in the fifth, and one that's a little bit too green today to round the class out with. Really nice ewe lamb to start this final crossbreed off with. Congratulations.
This will be last call for Fine Wool Cross Class 2. Last call, Fine Wool Cross Class 2. Results of Class 1 Fine Wool Cross. Sixth place, Wyatt Martinez from Wimberley FFA. Fifth place, Annie North from Jack C. Hayes FFA. Fourth place was Annie James Fredenberg from Dripping Springs 4-H. Third place, Grace Lynn Bach, Wimberley FFA. Second place, Maya Jones from Wimberley FFA. And your class winner out of Class 1 Fine Wool Crosses, Megan Hernandez from Buda 4-H.
This is class 2.
Class 2 Fine Wool Crosses are coming in the ring. We have 4 entries in this class, ranging in weight from 132 to 143 pounds.
No, there are only 2 classes. There are 3 of Dorpers. Okay. So you're doing fine. What are your
At 11. Class 2. Final call.
We need Megan Hernandez and Maya Jones back to the holding pen for the champion Fine Wool Cross Drive out of Class 1.
think you get into this class. For me, the decision's between second and third. I think the one that wins the class does so real easily. For me, a really good handling sheep, one that's more dimensional. He's the most balanced one. He's the better down his top line. For me, I like him for me to win the class. Sheep in second. It's good rib. To me, he's good looking from the side. He's clean up to his chest floor. He's just a little bit softer to handle. Wants to roll in his loin just a bit more. The sheep in third, not near as nice in terms of that hip-loin junction, just a little bit rawer to that loin, maybe not quite as nice and fresh. A little bit higher flank, doesn't balance up quite as well. Round out the class with one just a bit finer, made from the ground up, a little higher flank, probably a little bit flatter in terms of his stifle, but he's the thinnest sheep of the class. So again, put a little bit more flesh on him. I think he's going to make him a little bit better. Really nice set of fine wool crosses here. Let's give these 4 exhibitors a round of applause. Good job.
A reminder, all class winners and breed champions must go to the test barn. All class winners must go to the test barn. Results of Class 2 fine wool crosses. 4th place, Jackson Cronmiller from Wimberley FFA. 3rd place, Madeline Newbill from Dripping Springs FFA. 2nd place, Simone Gonzalez from San Marcos FFA. And your class winner out of Class 2 fine wool crosses, Madeline Newbill, Dripping Springs FFA. We got it. At this time, we will have Class 1 winner, Megan Hernandez from Buda 4-H, and Madeline Newbill from Dripping Springs FFA. Class winners out of Class 1 and 2. 2nd place lamb out of Class 1, Maya Jones from Wimberley FFA. And 2nd place lamb out of Class 2, Simone Gonzalez from San Marcos FFA, competing for the champion fine wool cross.
Not a lot of fine wool crosses, but some good ones, especially you talk about the ones in the front line here. When you talk about the one that wins this, he's by far, or she's by far the most complete, just stout, again, cool rib, balanced up, really nice one. I think when you talk about the reserve roll, it gets down to handle. There's some give and take with both of these sheep that were in contention for the reserve roll. One's a little bit rounder out of his hip, one's a little bit plainer maybe in his overall eye appeal and design in terms of forerib to flank. But it gets back for me today, and when you take a look at these 2 sheep, the handle the best are going to be your champion reserve. Young lady out of Class 1, let's give her a round of applause. That's your champion fine wool cross. Congratulations to her. And the young lady that's 2nd place in that class, that's your reserve champion. Congratulations.
All right, your champion fine wool cross lamb goes to Megan Hernandez from Buda 4-H. Reserve champion is Maya Jones from Wimberley FFA. Both out of Class 1. We will now have Class 1 Dorpers. Class 1 Dorpers, make your way to the holding pen. We have 5 entries in that class, ranging in from 88 pounds to 100 pounds. Class 1 Dorpers.
So it's ready now. So
champion Southdown belt buckle was sponsored today by Alicia and Alan Fee. Our reserve champion Southdown buckle was sponsored by the Wimberley FFA alumni. Our champion fine wool belt buckle was sponsored by Robin's Closet, Robin Rippy Scott. Reserve champion fine wool buckle was sponsored by Affinity, Cantera, and Stone Jared and Tressa Aylshire. Our champion fine wool cross buckle was sponsored by Giesen Tile. And reserve champion fine wool cross sponsored by Ben and Terry Brown. Thank you to all those sponsors that cover the cost of these buckles for these young people. We appreciate your support. This will be first call for Class 2 Dorpers. First call, Class 2 Dorpers. This will be second call, Class 2 Dorpers. Second call, Class 2 Dorpers. Our judge today is Mr. Eric Zimmerman. Eric is the District Extension Administrator for the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service in College Station. He served as a county extension agent in Tom Green, Llano, Grimes, and Brazos counties. He is a native of Menard and received his Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees from Texas A&M University in the Department of Rangeland Ecology and Management. He has judged over 400 lamb and goat shows throughout the U.S. Eric is married to his wife, Stephanie, and I think he said 28 years. That's a plus. And they have twins, a set of twins, 21-year-old twins, Jackson and Ramsey, who exhibited lambs and goats during their 4-H career. They are currently both juniors at Texas A&M University. Please welcome Eric Zimmerman.
This is a really good one here to win the class. A really nice sheep. He's the better out of his hip. He's the most balanced sheep. He's certainly good in his lines. For me, he's good in his rib. You take a look at him, he's either long-bodied as maybe ideal, or maybe he's the second place sheep, certainly not. But he's cracked up and through his middle and through his front end, but he gets still clean. He's exceptional in terms of his hip design. You put your hands on this sheep, he does not disappoint. Good hip, big top, really, really nice one to win the class. You start taking a look at the next couple here and went back and forth. The one that's just a bit more powerful, a little bit fresher to the handle is this ewe lamb in second. Again, one that's just really grooved up down her top. To me, she's just a bit more powerful in terms of her stifle in the middle and lower portion of her leg. To me, one that's just a little hollow, wants to get up in her flank just a little bit, wants to roll out that hip just a little bit. but I like that power down the top line. I certainly like the touch and handle. A real cool looking 1 and 30. I really thought that this ewe lamb was going to roll up in that second place hole because she's built right. She's good in her rib, really good in her lines. To me, you take a look at her, that 3/4 view, she's the flatter, stifled sheep of the top three. She's a little bit raw in terms of her handle. She's just not quite as fresh in that loin, but certainly one that's really designed well. I wish we had just a bit more condition on her, blow her up a bit more. She's probably going to roll up in that second place hole. A little bit piecier kind of sheep in the 4th place, one that's a little coarser up through that shoulder, one gets a little bit higher flank, another one that gets a little round on its hip, doesn't travel quite as freely about the arena. And then we got a long-bodied, balanced one around the class out with probably the rawest handling, the thinnest handling sheep to what we see. Get a little bit more condition on this lamb's going to blow his top up as well and make him more competitive. Nice class winner. Let's give these 5 exhibitors a round of applause. Good job.
This will be last call for Class 2 Dorpers. Last call, Class 2 Dorpers. Results of Class 1 Dorpers. 5th place, Eli Bentley, Wimberley 4-H. 4th place, Cassidy Clark, Jack C. Hayes FFA. 3rd place, Ashlyn Brinkley, Buda 4-H. 2nd place, Cassidy Clark from Jack C. Hayes FFA. And your class winner from Class 1 Dorpers is Roan Aylshire from Dripping Springs 4-H. Class 2 Dorpers will be entering the ring. We have 6 entries in this class, ranging in weight from 106 pounds to 112 pounds. This will be first call for Class 3 Dorpers. First call, Class 3 Dorpers. This will be second call for Class 3 Dorpers. Second call, Class 3 Dorpers.
a nice duo up in this heavyweight class, this class of hair sheep. These Dorpers, one that's long body. He's better in terms of his length of body. He's better in his hip. He's better out his dock. When you compare him to our second place sheep, you put your hands on him. He's just so grooved up down his top line, really explosive in terms of his rack. Both these sheep are very explosive in terms of their stifle. He's just a little bit longer body, just a little bit better hip. I like him to handle. I like him to win the class. Real firm, firm handling, thin-hided sheep in second. I like this sheep in terms of his rib. I like him in terms of his top line versus his underline as well. Just a notch shorter in terms of hind saddle to fore saddle. This is the one that wants to taper towards his dock just a bit more. It's not this dimensionalized hip, but it has some explosion in the middle and lower portion of that leg. I like that stifle. A little coarser fronted kind of sheep that wants to get a little bit down fronted is the one that rolls into third. Long bodied, really a nice one to look at from the side in relation to length of body. Got some shape down his top. We just need to elevate this sheep up to his front third, clean him up to the point of his shoulder just a little bit more. One that gets a little bit more forward to his chest is the one in fourth and fifth. Ones that have got some product that just don't fit me quite as well in terms of the design through their chest floor. Long bodied sheep that's a little bit rawer to the handle to round out the class. Nice duo up here though in this top end of this class. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
This will be last call for Class 3 Dorpers. Last call, Class 3 Dorpers. Okay, results from Class 2. Sixth place, Addison Dacey, Jack C. Hayes, FFA. Fifth place, Anaya Bynum, Johnson, FFA. Fourth place, Savannah Scott, Dripping Springs, FFA. Third place, Annie North, Jack C. Hayes, FFA. Second place, Kylie Davey, Buda 4-H. And your class winner out of Dorper Class 2 is Lawson Henry, Dripping Springs 4-H. Class 3 Dorpers will now be entering the ring. We have 5 entries in this class, ranging in weight from 119 pounds to 139 pounds.
Again, these two work their way to the top. This is a really good handling sheep here. Well, I tell you, this is a really firm handling sheep. This is a lamb, and you compare him to the remainder of the class. He's correct in his condition. He's really good over his rib. For me, I like him through his front third and chest floor so much better than the remainder of the class. He's clean through his chest. He's elevated through that front shoulder and neck area. One that is exceptionally nice to look at from the side. Good in terms of his lines. Three-quarter view, still plenty of power, plenty of hip. I love his design. I love his handle. I love his condition. I think he wins the class real easily. That's a nice sheep in the second place hold. This is a big-ended sheep in terms of that hip as well. One that to me is a little bit softer to the handle. This sheep's carrying some condition, and we got to be critical on that today. This is the one that gets a little bit forward through his chest floor, not near as elevated through his front third, but certainly one that measures extremely well, proportions extremely well from that 13th rib back. Just need to firm this lamb up just a little bit. A really nice handling sheep in the fourth place hole in terms of firmness. Not near as fresh, though, is what we see in the top two. One that wants to really get a little bit raw in terms of his loin. He's the one that wants to roll out of his hip just a bit more, wants to get a little bit easier in his top. One that gets a little bit more forward through his chest floor is the fourth place sheep. Again, one that's got some firmness to touch, but certainly one that's a little bit different in terms of design. Then we got a big power sheep to round the class out with. A lot of product in his skeleton. He's the one that's the boldest through his shoulder. He's the one that wants to run downhill just a bit more than what we'd like. We want to elevate him up through his front third. I think if we do that, we make him more competitive. Nice 5 sheep out here in our heavyweights. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
This will be first call, Class 1 medium wolves. First call, Class 1 medium wolves. At this time, we will do our champion and reserve champion Dorper drive. Our Class 1 winner, Roan Aylshire from Dripping Springs 4-H. Our Class 2 winner, Kylie Davey from Class 2 winner was Lawson Henry from Dripping Springs 4-H. Our Class 3 winner is Kylie Davey from Buda 4-H. Second place, Class 1, Cassidy Clark from Jack C. Hayes FFA. Second place out of Class 2 was Kylie Davey. And second place out of Class 3 is Trent Henry. Results of Class 3, fifth place, Zanji Prinsloo, Dripping Springs FFA. Fourth place, Anaya Bynum, Johnson FFA. Third place, Megan Johnson, Dripping Springs FFA. Second place was Trent Henry from Dripping Springs 4-H. And your class winner out of Dorper Class 3, Kylie Davey from Buda 4-H. This will be second call for Class 1 medium wolves. Second call, Class 1 medium wolves.
nice set of sheep out here. This is by far the deepest breed we've seen today. A really high quality set. You especially talk about the three that won their classes. They really fit me well. They're just so good to look at. They're so balanced. They got a great hip in them. Their pin set's really nice. They don't taper out towards their tail head and dock area. Ones that, again, you talk about the correctness of condition, really fit me quite well. Again, when you talk about the one that fits me the best, he's the one that's the most elevated in relation to his contemporaries. He's the one that's got that length of body. He runs uphill. He's really stout from the ground up. He's really good in his rib. He's great in his lines. And then you put your hands on him. He is so thin-hided, firm to the handle, firm to the touch, really good over his ribs. Again, a really nice one. The young lady out of the heavyweights, let's give her a round of applause. That's your champion, Dorper. You bring that second place in out of the heavies and evaluate him. We talked about how he was built right, but certainly one that's just a little bit heavier condition. You take about and look at the couple in the next hole in our light and middle. For me, it gets down to, again, the one just powered up, balanced, and really, really nice to look at from the side. He's big in terms of his top. He's long-bodied, and he's good hip. Young man out of the middleweight. Let's give him a round of applause. That's your reserve champion. Good job.
Okay, your champion Dorper comes out of Class 3, Miss Kylie Davey from Buda 4-H. And your reserve champion Dorper comes out of Class 2, Lawson Henry from Dripping Springs 4-H. Congratulations. We'll see y'all back here in the Grand Champion Drive after the medium wool drive. Our champion Dorper belt buckle this evening was sponsored by Barbie Ranch. That's Shane Barbie over at Wimberley. And the reserve champion Dorper is also sponsored by Barbie Ranch. We appreciate those sponsorships very much. It helps us to give those kids these good, nice buckles. So thank you much to all our belt buckle sponsors.
Yeah, we also like to thank these sponsors for sponsoring the live stream: Wright Barrier Services, Cap Brothers Rabbitry, PMI, Pipe Steel Supplies, Republic of Texas Tailgate, Birkland Excavating and Ag Services, Southwest Erectors, and Clancy Hall Realtor with Phyllis Browning Land and Ranch.
Thank you to those sponsors as well. We appreciate their help. This will be first call, Class 2 medium wools. First call, Class 2 medium wools. This will be second call for Class 2 medium wool. Second call, Class 2 medium wool.
Well, it's a nice way to start the medium wool sheep show off with. This sheep's moderate. He's not the big one, but certainly he's the best one. He is just built right. He's stout. He's big-footed. One that just, I love the way that neck comes out of that shoulder. I like his design. He's just wedges up real good. He's just so good in terms of his handle. He's so smooth down his top line. He walks out to the arena really with some athleticism. He wins the class real easily. Power sheep's in second. Big old rack, big hip, big stifle, stout from the ground up. This one's got just a bit more shoulder to him than maybe ideal, but certainly one I love is in terms of his top shape. To me, maybe not quite smooth down his top, but one that's got a lot of product. This weather in the third place hole, the greenest one of our three. I think if you put just a bit more condition on him, drop his flank a little bit more, makes him even better in terms of his loin handle, one that's a little bit flatter in terms of his stifle. This is a really interesting sheep because this guy is so green and not even close to being there. Long bite and elevated. Not enough there today. I think it's going to come down the line. Ewe lamb in fourth. She's built right. She's pretty. She just doesn't have enough product on her skeleton. Round the class out with some sheep that are just a little bit different in their design out their hip, a little rawer to their handle, just a little bit less muscular in terms of their shape down their top. That's a really nice class winner. Let's give them all a round of applause. Good job.
Be last call for Class 2 medium wools. Last call, Class 2 medium wools. Those results to us, please.
No cadences or chords to play, no melodies or words to say. But
Results from Class
you're
1
still
medium wools.
singing,
7th place, Vanessa Ruiz
and it
from Wimberley 4-H.
keeps me
6th place, Vanessa Ruiz from Wimberley 4-H.
when I fall
5th place, Isabella Villas from Dripping Springs FFA.
to a
4th place, Annie James Fredenberg from Dripping Springs 4-H.
I don't know
3rd place, Kellen Embry, Dripping Springs FFA. 2nd place, Callie Knock, Jack C. Hayes FFA. And your class winner out of Class 1 medium wools, Amanda Alderson from Dripping Springs 4-H. Congratulations. This will be first call Class 3 medium wools. First call Class 3 medium wools.
through your tear-filled
Our
eyes
Class
and
2
your hands
medium
that
wools are in the
shake.
ring.
Darling,
We have 6 entries in this class ranging from 126 to 137.
have you tired rope? When you're feeling trapped and just need to go, darling, I'll be ready when you fall apart to a million pieces. When you don't know where to start, I'll put you back together. I'll put you back together again. put you back together. I'll put you back together again.
The second call for Class 3 medium wolves. Second call, Class 3 medium wolves.
Into a million pieces when I don't know where to start, when I forget where my peace is, when you fall apart into a million pieces.
Tell you, and I'm not exaggerating here, the water got real deep when this one walked in the ring. He is good. He is just stout. He is long-bodied. He is so grooved up. He's so smooth down his top. He's just so dadgum good in terms of his rib and hip. One that, for me, it just fits all the pieces together really nice. In this class, he wins it really, really easily. Young lady, you got a nice one in the second place hole. He's not as long a body. He's not as cool to look at. But, boy, he's big and stout. He's just stout from the ground up. He's explosive in his top. He's explosive in his hip. He's big in terms of his stifle. He's just not as cool to look at. He's not near as elevated, not near as long a body, but one that, to me, again, just got so much more muscle. Want to stretch him out just a little bit. The young lady, sheep in third, that's a nice one in his own right. There's another one that's grooved up down his top. There's another one that's great in terms of his pin set. Where do we fault him? As he moves about the arena, he's the one that wants to run a little bit more downhill, drop his chest forward ever so slightly. I like his length of body. I like his top shape. Again, just a little bit different in terms of the way he moves about the arena. Long-bodied measuring sheep in the fourth place hole. A little bit flatter and stifle, not near as powerful down his top. Next sheep, just a little bit more narrow base as he tracks away from us in the sixth place sheep. Again, long-bodied, good rib. He's just a little bit rawer to his handle down his top. That's a really good one to win this class. Let's give them all a round of applause. Good job.
This will be last call for Class 3 medium wolves. We need Bryn Baldwin. Bryn Baldwin from Dripping Springs FFA, Class 3, is fixing to go in the ring. Results from Class 2 medium wolves. Sixth place, Jonathan Reagan from Dripping Springs FFA. Fifth place, Simone Gonzalez from San Marcos FFA. Fourth place, Katie Hartman, Dripping Springs FFA. Third place, A. Robertson. Second place, Amanda Alderson from Dripping Springs 4-H. And your class winner, Riley Steinecke from Wimberley FFA. Class 3 is in the ring at this time. We have 5 entries in that class, ranging from 141 to 146 pounds. This will be first call for Class 4 medium wolves. First call, Class 4 medium wolves.
Better than two.
two holes. The one that fits me better, the one that to me just has too many more combinational positives is the young lady's weather here. I like him up to his front. I like him in terms of his shoulder. I like him in terms of his forerib just a little bit better than what we see in our second place sheep. I think he's just a little bit longer sided. He's exceptionally long in terms of that 13th rib back and that hind saddle. He proportions really well. Where I really like him more so is really in that pin set and that dock. He is so much better at his hip. He's long hip, long bodied, really grooved up down his top. A little bit better in terms of his loin. Really one that's just a really good ribbed, great handling sheep. I like him to win the class. Just a little bit shorter fronted kind of sheep in second, just ever so slightly, just a bit more maybe shoulder than ideal. One that to me, he's the one that wants to have just an ever so slight tick in the roundness out of his hip. He's got plenty of top shape. He's a big rack sheep. He's a big stifle sheep, got plenty of leg. I think he rolls just a little bit in terms of depth of loin when you compare him to our class winner. That's getting real picky. He's not near long a body, but certainly one in terms of this duo here in first and second. They need to be up here. The one that wins the class just a little bit more complete than that sheep in second, but he's a power-packed individual as well. This is another one that's got a lot of top shape. Then one just a little bit different in terms of design, a little bit deeper through the middle portion of the body cavity, maybe in relation to that flank. A little bit flatter in terms of stifle, not near as dimensional on his hip, but he's better in terms of length of body and elevation than what we see in the fourth place sheep. He's the shorter sided one, the one that has just a bit more chest in him, but certainly one that's got some product on his skeleton. And then we round up the class of one that is long bodied, he is elevated. This is the one that's a little softer to the handle, wants to get just a bit flatter in terms of his stifle, doesn't have near the shape down his top. Nice duo up here, very competitive class 3 medium wool sheep. Congratulations.
This will be last call for Class 4 medium wool. Last call, Class 4 medium wools. Results of Class 3 medium wools. 5th place, Bryn Baldwin, Dripping Springs FFA. 4th place, Georgia Salinas, Wimberley FFA. 3rd place, Camden Crow, Dripping Springs FFA. 2nd place, Barrett Collins, Dripping Springs 4-H. And your class winner out of Class 3 medium wools, Riley Steinecke, Wimberley FFA. Class 4 medium wools should be entering the ring. We have 9 entries in this class, ranging in weight from 149 to 159 pounds. This will be first call, Class 5 medium wools. First call, Class 5 medium wools. This will be second call, Class 5 medium bulls. Second call, Class 5 medium bulls.
This trio right here is challenging for me because we said this before, there's some things you like about them and there's some things you want to change. The one that's just so good in terms of his handle in relation to his length of body is the sheep that wins the class. He's long-bodied. He combines that with enough mass on his skeleton. He combines that with smoothness down his top line. He combines that with power in the middle and lower portions of his leg. He's long-bodied. He is elevated up to his front. He's better in terms of his balance of lines. He's better down his top line in relation to his underline. To me, again, just chock full of muscle, and I really like his length of body. I like his length of body in combination with the handle. What do we want to change? I want to shove him up to his chest a little bit. I want to get him just a bit more up to that chest floor, just ever so slightly, especially when you move him about the arena. But he's good enough in all those other aspects to win the class. The moderate sheep, the sheep that's given up 10 pounds in the class, is the one in the middle. Again, lot shorter sided. Again, he's the one that has a tendency to just have just ever so slightly a point of his shoulder in relation to his wedge in terms of the way he appears from that 3/4 view. Again, I think he's better in terms of his lines when you compare him to our third place. I like him down his top line. I like him in his underline. I love his pin set, and I like his depth of leg. I just wish that he was just a bit longer bodied, a little bit more elevated, but certainly one, I like him in that second hole. The challenge for me was the third place sheep, because what do we do with him? He's long bodied, he's elevated, he's big. He's very similar in terms of body frame than what we see in our class winner. There's just not as much there. There's just not near as much product of skeleton. He's the one that's just a little raw in terms of his loin. He's the one that gets ever so slightly up in his flank. He just doesn't bounce up right down the profile quite as well. I love him in terms of his forerib. He just gets ever so slightly up into his flank. I want to drop it just a bit. Again, he's just a little raw to the handle, not near as cool to the handle and touch in terms of his loin. I love his length of body. I love his elevation. If you just wanted to match him up in frame size, you put him 2. I just didn't like his handle today. We elevated it. We elected to put him in the third place hole. Crossbred sheep. Power sheep, big-ended dude over here. Again, one that's just a little bit coarser, a little bit more bold through his front. He's the one that's a heavier conditioned sheep. Then as we get down the line, we've got some sheep that've got some volume of muscle on their skeleton. They're just not nice, not near as good in terms of their overall design. It's a challenging class here. This way we see them today. Nice trio up here on the top end. Good job.
This will be last call, Class 5 medium wools. Last call, Class 5 medium wools. Results of Class 4 medium wools. 9th place, Addison Newland, Dripping Springs FFA. 8th place, Hanya Yergan, Dripping Springs FFA. 7th place, Megan Johnson, Dripping Springs FFA. 6th place, Kylie Woodworth, Dripping Springs FFA. 5th place, Simone Gonzalez, San Marcos FFA. 4th place, Sarah Lamb, Dripping Springs FFA. 3rd place, Adeline Fee, Dripping Springs 4-H. 2nd place, Amanda Alderson, Dripping Springs 4-H. And your class winner out of Class 4 medium wools is Riley Steinecke, Wimberley FFA. Class 5 will be entering the ring now. We have 6 entries in this class, ranging in weight from 161 pounds to 180 pounds. This will be our last medium wool class of the day. At the conclusion of Class 6, we will need the 1st and 2nd place medium wools out of the first 4 classes to come back to the ring for the champion medium drive. We will need Amanda Alderson and Callie Knott out of Class 1. We will need Riley Steinecke and Amanda Alderson out of Class 2. We will need Riley Steinecke and Barrett Collins out of Class 3. And we will need Riley Steinecke and Amanda Alderson out of Class 4. Back to the holding area for the champion medium bull drive, please.
Julie Lambs wins the class, not the longest bodied one, but she's long enough. Where she excels her class is when she moves. She doesn't change. She's better on the move about the arena. One that is so good looking when the young lady gets her propped up. She's stout from the ground up, big-footed as well. Again, one that you put your hands on this sheep, really stout down her top line. To me, I really like her pin set. I think she's exceptional in terms of dimension on her hip. For me, she just looks more the part of a show sheep as she travels about the arena. She doesn't change. I like her in terms of her lines or down her top line. I like her in her flank. Again, to me, I like her in terms of her neck placement, and I think that's extremely critical in this class. She's elevated. That neck comes out of those shoulders extremely nice. She's just a little bit better up through her front third. Really nice, long-bodied sheep in second. This is the one, again, got plenty of power down in his top. This is the one that kind of changes just a little bit when you get this sheep on the move. It's almost like he's a little bit too hollow, just going to want to change his look and his appearance. This is the one that has a little bit of tendency to be just ever so slightly more common up through his front. The way that neck comes out of that shoulder, like it changes that a little bit in relation to his body frame in length of body. I like that. It's just not near as cool to look at from the side. Lots of product in the skeleton. Again, one that's a little rougher made, a little bit different made is the one that comes in third. Lots of product in his skeleton, big top, big hip. Just to me, just a little bit different in his overall design in terms of the way you compare him to first and second. It's a nice trio up here in the top end of this class. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause. Good job.
Results of Class 5 medium wolves. 6th place, Bradley Peters, Dripping Springs FFA. 5th place, Robertson, Buda 4H. 4th place, Morgan Hernandez, Buda 4H. 3rd place, Barrett Collins, Dripping Springs 4H. 2nd place, Adeline Fee, Dripping Springs 4H. And your class winner out of Class 5 medium wolves, Morgan Hernandez, Buda 4H. We will now have first and second place lambs out of all 5 class medium wools back to the ring for our champion medium wool drive. Then immediately following that, we will have our breed and reserve breed champions back to the ring for our grand champion overall drive. Class 1 winner, Amanda Alderson, Dripping Springs 4-H. Class 2 winner, Riley Steinecke, Wimberley 4A or FFA. Class 3 winner, Riley Steinecke, Wimberley FFA. Class 4 winner, Riley Steinecke, Wimberley FFA. And your Class 5 winner, Morgan Hernandez, Buda 4-H. Second place, Class 1 medium wool, Kylie Knock, Kylie Knock. Second place, Class 2, Amanda Alderson, Dripping Springs 4-H. Second place, Class 3, Barrett Collins, Dripping Springs 4-H. Second place, Class 4, Amanda Alderson, Dripping Springs 4-H. And second place, Class 5 medium wools, Adeline Fee. Please give these exhibitors a round of applause for their champion medium wool drive.
Really nice set of medium wool sheep out here. I really like the ones that we moved up in that first place roll. Again, these sheep are really nice. They're just so good to handle, so good to look at. Again, they fit me well in terms of design. We're not going to talk about them as we get late. And again, for me, there's one out here that he is good. He is not even close to where he's going to be. But he didn't have to be today because he's built right. He is just like, he Cadillacs about the arena. His rib is superior. His pin set is unbelievable. He's so good down his top. He's so powerful. I would love him to death. Again, a high quality one. I think your reserve roll is just as good. I think this is the sheep. Again, this does not change when you get this individual on the move and then you get that sheep propped up. Looks just as good. Powerful, good rib, long body, doesn't disappoint down that top line, stout made from the ground up. This is a really good set of sheep. Congratulations to all of these exhibitors as well as the other ones in the other 4 breeds. Let's give them a round of applause. We'll go shake your hand and you champion reserve.
All right, your champion medium wool goes to Riley Steinecke out of Class 2 from Wimberley FFA. Your reserve champion medium wool comes out of Class 5. Out of Class 5, Megan Hernandez, reserve champion, Morgan Hernandez, I'm sorry. Morgan, excuse me. Okay, now we need all of our breed and reserve breed champions back to the ring for our grand champion overall drive. Okay, out of the Southdown breed, we need our champion. Southdown is Quincy Rains from Dripping Springs 4-H. Our reserve champion, Southdown, is J.W. Hernandez from Buda 4-H. And our fine wool breed, our fine wool champion is Marlena Moore. Our reserve champion fine wool is Maya Jones. Our champion fine wool cross is Megan Hernandez. Our reserve breed fine wool cross is Maya Jones. Our breed champion out of the Dorper division is Kylie Davey. Our reserve breed champion Dorper is Lawson Henry. And then out of the medium wool division, our champion is Riley Steinecke. And our reserve breed champion is Morgan Hernandez. This will be first call for senior showmanship. First call, senior showmanship.
You go through a show and you know you remember them, but certainly it's exceptionally beneficial when you get them back out here and really get to compare them from our Southdown all the way up through our medium wool sheep. Again, what they brought to the table with their individual breed representation, they are just great to look at. I hope you can see that from the sidelines. They're long bodied, they're good ribbed, they're elevated up through their front, they run uphill. They track with some base width. They don't fall apart on the move. They fit the bill extremely well. That Southdown's a nice Southdown. Again, the fine wool is exceptional to handle. That little cross there, she's a nice one in her own right. That hair sheep, I really, really like that sheep. And then we talk about that dude right there in terms of that medium wool sheep. Again, a really, really nice lamb. He is just built right, handles right, everything about him's right. That's your champion. Let's give her a round of applause. Good job.
Grand champion lamb goes to Riley Steinecke out of the medium wool division from Wimberley FFA.
You take about that reserve medium wool and bring her up, and again, she fits the bill. The other ones are good. There's some differences in relation to what they bring to the table in terms of being the most complete in our reserve roles. She's the one that doesn't change. She's powerful. She's good in terms of her balance, and she's stout. Let's give her a round of applause. The medium wool sheep's going to be a reserve as well. Good job.
Your reserve grand champion goes to Morgan Hernandez. I'll get you right sooner or later. I've only known you forever. Morgan Hernandez is your reserve grand champion lamb of 2024. Thank you all very much. This will be second call for senior showmanship. Second call, senior showmanship. We need all breed champions and reserve breed champions to the test barn. All breed champions and reserve breed champions to the test barn. This will be second call for senior showmanship. A reminder, all breed and reserve breed champions must go to the test barn. All breed and reserve breed champions to the test barn, please. Also, get over and get your pictures taken with your breed champions, reserve breed champions. Any of your lambs or goats that you want to have pictures made with, you can take them over and get pictures done this evening. Our champion medium wool belt buckle this evening was sponsored by Lindholm Club Lambs. Our reserve champion medium wool was donated by Backyard Cowboys Buyers Group. We appreciate their help very much. The grand champion market lamb buckle was sponsored by Barbie Ranch, Shane Barbie. Reserve champion market lamb was also sponsored by Barbie Ranch. Our senior showmanship belt buckle this afternoon was sponsored by Balboa Memorial Foundation.
Don't worry, you all struck out. It's all right. I had to change it up because I've used a number of questions here and there, and you know, I just want to see what you do. It didn't matter to me if you got it right or wrong. It's not a skill-a-thon, right? Isn't that right? But You'd be surprised some of the answers I get, and it's kind of comical sometimes. It makes me laugh. That's what we do more than anything else. And you don't chop showing. You keep getting those sheep exhibited right. You keep them braced real close. Again, we talk about this in the goat show. I wish we had more than one award. We don't. The one that's most complete today, just a little bit better in terms of hand placement, pace about the arena, all those things exceptionally well. That lady right there. Let's give her a round of applause. She's your champion. Good job.
Your senior lamb showman goes to Morgan Hernandez. Morgan Hernandez. Congratulations, Morgan. This will be second call for intermediate showman. Second call for intermediate showmanship. Please come to the staging area. This will be first call for junior showmanship. First call for junior showmanship. Please line up. First call, junior showmanship. Attention in the barn. Attention. Shelby Hinchke, Arbor Turf Experts. You need to come up here to the announcer stand. Shelby Hinchke.
It's real close, ladies. All three of you did an outstanding job. I encourage you to keep up the good work. For me, it gets down to just a bit more complete here and getting them presented right, anticipation and understanding what I'm trying to do in relation to viewpoints, all those things. Again, it gets real close. All three of you deserve an award. We only have one, Carl. It's the young lady in the middle. Let's give her a round of applause. That's your champion.
Your intermediate showman is Quincy Raines from Dripping Springs 4-H. This is last call for junior showmanship. Last call, junior showmanship. This will be first call for Clover Showmanship. First call, Clover Showmanship. Attention in the barn. If anyone knows Shelby Hinchke, Shelby Hinchke with Arbor Turf Experts, please tell her to come to the announcer stand.
Showers in the month of May. The ground's still wet and the sky's still
Our
gray.
intermediate showmanship buckle today was sponsored by Wimberley FFA alumni. And our junior showmanship buckle is sponsored by Balboa Memorial Foundation.
No melodies or words to say, but you're still singing, and it keeps me breathing. When I fall apart to a million pieces, when I don't know where to start, you put me back together. You put me back together again. When the waters rise and the levee breaks.
Finally, it's the battle of the dudes out here. All three of you gentlemen did an outstanding job of getting them shown right, getting back in the arena. Again, did a good job. Switching sides, showing me the front end of that sheep, getting them set up right, all those things. I think there's one that's just a little bit more advanced this evening in terms of getting the animal presented right. navigating the arena, navigating what I'm trying to do in anticipatory fashion. He's an outstanding showman in his own right. That's your champion. That's all recognized as a young man that's on my left here. He's your champion. Good job.
Your junior showman for today is J.W. Hernandez. J.W. Hernandez. Congratulations, J.W. This is last call for Clover Showmanship. Last call for Clover Showmanship. I think everybody needs to get together and give Mr. Eric Zimmerman a big round of applause for helping us out with our show, lamb show today and sorting our stock for us. We appreciate him being here.
Put you back together again. You put me back together. You put me back together again. Daisies blooming, sundress swaying in the breeze. I can't stop staring. You've put a spell on me, and I hope that you never decide to set me free. The way you're moving, it's got me moving my own feet. Greatest feeling that I could ever dare to dream is you forever moving next to me. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. The leaves ain't waiting, their colors changing like the times. And I'm taking, darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. You got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down.
You're killing me, Carl. We only got one award. You're killing me.
Let's
give
split
a
the
round of
hairs.
Let's give a round of applause to these guys. This is a good job. Both of you did good. We got things to work on, right? That's okay. We got things that we can do better, and you've done some good things, both of you. Keep up the good work. Make sure that you know, again, you got those animals presented right. You use your hands, you know, you move about the arena. We're splitting hairs here in terms of getting them set and right and looking right. You know, I think that's kind of where we split it today. But don't stop. Every time you get a chance, get in the ring. There's going to be a lot of prospect shows. Come show to me. I love seeing you two. You guys do a good job. Keep up the good work. Again, let's give him a round of applause. The young man here with the little Southdown in the red, he's going to be your champion. Congratulations to both these gentlemen. It's been a good, wonderful show. I appreciate the invitation. It's been a great day.
Your champion Clover showman is Tate Steinecke. Good job to both of you young men. Great job. Neat.